So it never fails. Right as we're getting ready to go on, we get a train that goes by. My dog starts barking. But we'll get started here in a second, guys. I'm letting everything scroll through here. This is ridiculous that day. So just give me a moment. We'll get everything started. Welcome everybody to the live stream, of course. This is Michael Buckkeisher's RTF Sports Talk in conjunction with Just for Clicks. Give a shout out to Mornings with Mike. I'm on that show as well. Upload basically a comedy sketch every other day. So be sure to subscribe to that channel as well. Seems like maybe the train has passed by. So we'll go ahead and get started here, and we'll see what's going on. All right, so just give me a moment here. Press that record button. And welcome to RTF Sports Talk. I am Michael Buckkeisher. I am in conjunction with RTF Sports Talk and Just for Clicks, guys. So we are doing a joint podcast here for a little while longer, hopefully just till the first part of April. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here. I got the doors open in the studio, the windows open, so that's why you're going to hear a little bit of background noise, that dog going crazy. I definitely apologize, but guys, this is live, raw, and uncut, Just for Click style. So before we get too carried away, this is NFL free agency season. The NFL league season just started today, March 13th. I believe I want to say it probably starts at 12:01 a.m., but I can't answer that for surely on that one. We also have tournaments, just conference tournaments starting today. Some of them are wrapping up. Some of the small ones like Horizon, the AAC. A big upset last night. St. Mary's did beat Gonzaga. I think they're the WCC. I'm not for sure. Maybe even I don't know. I can't remember that. But nonetheless, St. Mary's did upset the number one seed Gonzaga. So the big question is arising here: does Gonzaga deserve a number one seed? I mean, of course they do, guys. Like, I mean, they've done great things all season. There's no reason why they should not get a number one seed. If you believe they're going to get knocked out to a number two or a number three seed, I think you are strongly mistaken what they did earlier this season. They did beat Duke earlier this season, and so quite frankly, I have no reason to believe that they are going to go down. But on the old Twitter webs there, if you guys are not following me on the Twitter machine, it's at mbuck41. I was scrolling through the Twitter machine, and I saw a thing posted by Sports Illustrated. They asked, what do teams need to do to be a part of this of these brackets that are happening? What do they need to do to become the number one seed? And I'm thinking of the number one seeds here. You have possibility of Duke, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky are all kind of vying for that final two number one seeds. I think Gonzaga is a lock. I think Virginia is a lock as well. So I got to thinking, what do these teams need to do to solidify their number one rankings? Obviously, I think they just need to beat each other. If they cancel out the other team and they beat each other, they'll be A-okay. If North Carolina beats Duke for the third time this season, they're definitely going to be a number one seed. If Kentucky beats Tennessee for the second time this year, they'll be the number one seed, no doubt about it. So I think the winner of these two games, because they will both play each other more than likely Saturday, if everything lines up correctly, Friday or Saturday. I can't remember for sure. I do know the Tennessee-Kentucky game would be Saturday if it were to happen, because Kentucky plays Friday, the winner of what was it? Alabama and Auburn, maybe. I'm not for sure. And I'm not too worried about Tennessee, so I don't follow them too much. But they would play Saturday in like a semifinals, and then obviously the finals. North Carolina and Duke, I think that they play in the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, just take care of business on those sides and on those both sides of the ball, and I think they will be okay. I feel that's the way it is going to be, and so let's get some sound effects happening here. And if you're listening to us on the live stream, definitely apologize of what's going on here. It looks like the internet is malfunctioning, but we are recording this as well, so there'll be a playback option right after this is over. So don't feel bad for not joining us right now. I definitely see what's going on. So. All right, so moving on to the big topic of the day, NFL free agency here. If you guys have been living underneath the rock, you kind of know what is happening so far. Antonio Brown is going to the Oakland Raiders. We talked about that on Monday. It's been highly cut up and dissected and yada, yada, yada. And people don't think that Antonio Brown is going to do let's not say people. Me, Michael Buckheischer, does not think Antonio Brown is going to do what he did in Pittsburgh. And let me tell you why. Because if you guys remember, when he was in Pittsburgh, he had a big arm quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, hate him or love him, he had a big arm. He could get the ball down the field when he wanted to. Antonio Brown had another wide receiver that took the double coverage away from him in Juju Smith-Schuster. You can say what you want about about him, but last year Antonio Brown was the second option on that team. Let's be totally honest. Even the year before that, yeah, he started the year out strong, but toward the second part of the season, he kind of was phased out into the second part of the season. Then they had a running game that would also bring people up into the box. You want to stop Le'Veon Bell. And then even last year, Connor had a great year for the Steelers as well. So I got to looking at this Oakland roster, and they really don't have a number 2 wide receiver. Yes, Jordy Nelson's very, very good still. We don't even know if he is going to play still, to be honest with you. There was rumors of him last year wanting to retire. So is he going to retire? Is he going to come back to Oakland for one last ride? This is great for Jordy because he takes all that double coverage off of him. I don't think Antonio Brown's going to have a great year, guys. You can say what you want. The worth the what was it, $84 million or whatever he he is, but truth be told, guys, he's been in the league for 7 years. He's over 30. His career is on a downcline. Unless he pulls a Tom Brady gene out of his body and starts to elevate his play even more. But I don't see that happening, especially in Oakland. So with all that being said, Oakland fans, I know you're excited. I know you guys signed a big name wide receiver, but you still got to play the Chiefs twice. You still got to play the San Diego Chargers or the Los Angeles Chargers twice. You even still got to play the Broncos twice. Are you guys even going to get out of that division again? Probably not. Let me hit on my Kansas City Chiefs real fast here. Yes, we are overhauling the defense, but we're getting away with all the wrong people.
No.
Yes, you guys. I mean, come on. We're trading Dee Ford. We released Justin Houston. We did sign the Honey Badger, which before we traded Dee Ford and Houston, that was a big name signing because I do think Eric Berry is kind of on his way out. He's getting phased out. He played a couple games last year, and I just don't know if he is the player that he once was. So I think that's why they brought in the Honey Badger to either. Obviously to add depth to the safety position, because we did release or we traded our another safety. His name just slipped in my mind, but we needed depth in the secondary. Now we need depth in the linebackers. Because or even the edge rushers. Justin Houston's gone. Dee Ford's gone. Who is left on that defense? Last year we traded Patrick Peterson. Do we trade him or just let him go? Either way, we let him go for very, very cheap to the Los Angeles Rams. It's so far this offseason for the Kansas City Chiefs is not looking good. But Oakland Raider fans, pump the brakes. Don't get too excited yet. It is kind of a what you've done for me now league, And the last thing I remember for Antonio Brown was him bailing on his team in the time of need when they needed him in the playoffs. And he's like, you know what? Sorry, guys. I'm not going to be able to make it to practice. And speaking of pumping the brakes, guys, the Cleveland Browns, they've had a very, very busy offseason. They signed Kareem Hunt from, obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs that have been cut because of the kicking and screaming scandal or whatever you want to call that. They have Nick Chubb still. They were in the pursuit of Earl Thomas, but he ended up signing with the Baltimore Ravens after the Ravens released Eric Weddle. They did so the Ravens did end up signing Earl Thomas for a 4-year, $55 million deal. I guess shout out to them. Speaking on the Ravens, they've also signed Mark Ingram as well, 3-year, $15 million year. So, I mean, the Ravens are kind of making some moves as well after releasing Eric Weddle and reportedly, this hasn't been confirmed yet, Joe Flacco to the Denver Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't think I've seen it confirmed yet. But Cleveland Brown fans, pump your brakes. You guys have just received Odell Beckham Jr. and my Facebook last night blew up. People are like, oh, Browns are champions. Yes, 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 yes. Pump the goddamn brakes, guys. Odell Beckham is the most overrated wide receiver I have ever seen. Hear me out. What has Odell Beckham done for you in the playoffs? Drop 6 passes? Get your ass kicked by the Green Bay Packers 38-10? What has he done in primetime games? He had that one good catch over the Cowboys like 5 years ago. Are you guys still banking on that? Are you like, oh, this is Odell Beckham, now we're going to get that one amazing catch? What has he done, guys? Honestly, sit back and think about this. In the crunch time, in the time of need, in a big primetime game, has Odell Beckham stepped up and played? Has he stepped up and performed like a team-changing wide receiver that he should? Sit back and answer that question. Think of a time? I haven't. The only time I was impressed with Odell Beckham Jr. was when he made that catch versus the Cowboys. I don't know if that was a touchdown or not. I can't remember, but it was at least down to the 1-yard line, and the Giants end up winning that game. So, I mean, he had a great catch. He has great catchability. He has great big play ability. But okay, let me pump the brakes a tad bit. What did he have in New York before Berkeley came? Their tailback that they got last year. He didn't really have anybody. So definitely double coverages was happening. So in those big games versus good coaches, yeah, he was kind of phased out of the game. I guess you can say. Good coaches playing for good players. Like, hey, we're gonna have somebody else beat us. Okay, maybe that was it. Maybe with the addition of Landry out on the other side, Nick Chubb in the backfield, Kareem Hunt in the backfield, a big name young quarterback. Maybe Odell Beckham might have one breakout season. Okay, is the ego going to get to him and going to crumble the Browns? Guys, let's face it, they are still the Browns. They are still quarterback career-ending you. Okay, so Baker Mayfield's going to have a sophomore slump. Everybody does. If you don't think they do, you are a goddamn lie. Even the best quarterbacks that have had great seasons, they still have that sophomore slump for 4 or 5 game stretch. Okay, so Baker Mayfield is going to have a bad 5 game stretch this season, this 2019 season. He's going to have a bad 5 game stretch. The question is the egos of Baker Mayfield, the egos of Odell Beckham Jr., are they going to tear that locker room apart? Are they going to crumble within itself before they can even do anything? I don't know. we've seen Odell Beckham Jr.'s antics, being proposing to the freaking net, getting a fight with Josh Norman on the sideline. Me I know his antics aren't huge by any means, but at the same time, they are still a concerning thing. You're like, hey, wait a minute. Well, maybe is the ego of Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham going to clash when this 5 or 6 team stretch happens? Like when they lose 3 or 4 games in a row, they play bad for 2 games. Is Odell Beckham going to go to the media like, hey, I need a new quarterback? Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. I can't win it all by myself. I don't know. That's the main question that I have for everybody here. Cleveland Brown fans, pump the brakes. I wish I had Charles Most, my guy here from Mornings with Mike. If you guys have not subscribed, go to the YouTube channel, search for Mornings with Mike. Be sure to hit that bell icon. They upload content every other day. It's me, myself, at mbuck41 and Charles Motes, which is really normally right across the street or across the desk from me. Big shout out to those guys. This is the weekly shout out for the RTF Productions team here. Mornings with Mike, iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Same with RTF Sports Talk and Just for Clicks, guys. We are everywhere that you listen to podcasts, as long as YouTube. So with all that being said, let's get back into things. Browns fans, pump your brakes. Yes, it is a great trade for you guys on paper, but show me. Show me what you're going to do. Show me if Odell Beckham's worth it. Because right now, I don't foresee it happening, guys. I mean, man, these allergies have got me down, y'all. Just show me. Don't get me wrong. I still like the Browns in that division, so I am downplaying them like crazy. I had them win the division last year. They were a couple games short. Ball didn't bounce their way once or twice. I get it, but pump the brakes, guys. Pump the brakes. Learn how to win first, okay, guys. Have back-to-back winning seasons. Learn how to win a playoff game, and then talk about Super Bowl. Same thing with my Kansas City Chiefs. We did not know how to win. Last year was our first home playoff win in since '95 or something like that. Pump the brakes, guys. Pump the brakes. Moving on. Next big name trade that was happening. Le'Veon Bell. This guy cracks me up. So he turns down essentially the same deal that the Pittsburgh Steelers offered him that the New York Jets. If you guys haven't heard, Le'Veon Bell signed believe it was $54 million contract, 4-year deal with the New York Jets. Let me confirm that. That was the biggest story that has been happening so far. There's enough information on this that you could talk. It's 4 years, $52.5 million, $35 million guaranteed. If I remember right, this is almost the same exact offer that the Pittsburgh Steelers offered him 2 years ago. Sitting out a year, Le'Veon Bell did not help your cause out that much, did it, buddy? Kind of saying that, hey, I'm better than everybody here, did not quite work out for you, did it? Yeah, yes, he's still making his money. $54 million is no chump change. You're going to New York. I guess you're looking for more media coverage, but the Jets suck. You might win 5 games this year. Congratulations. Congratulations on putting your body through crap for 5 wins. Not even a chance to make the playoffs. The only way I see the Jets making the playoffs this season, or even having a chance to make the playoffs this season, Tom Brady has to get hurt. Miami has to completely fall off the map. The Bills just got to be the Bills. That's the only way you guys are going to get into the playoffs. You have to win that division. So you need to worship some voodoo doll to to get Tom Brady to play like a high school Tom Brady, like I guess like some high school quarterback. Name any high school quarterback in America that's not like the best of the best. Hope he plays like that. That's the only way you guys got a chance. So signing Le'Veon Bell, it's great stunt for you guys. It's a great way to take the pressure off that rookie quarterback you guys got. That sucks. It's a great way to what's that coach's name? Like you guys have seen that picture of him. He's like a little cracked out picture that he had there. But yeah, I think that's the only reason why the Jets the Jets signed him was to take pressure off the head coach, take pressure off the quarterback. Here's how you beat the Jets this year: put 8 guys in a box, have 2 spies on Le'Veon Bell. Who is going to beat you?
That was easy.
You're welcome. Hire me as a defensive coordinator. I'm free, not free, but I do it for a reasonable price. You know, a couple grand a year. I'd be happy. I would be satisfied. But guys, like I was saying, NFL free agency is in full swing. This is officially the start of the NFL season. I guess the off season, you should say, a month before the draft. So I think most of the big splashes have been made. I don't foresee anything else really too big happening. So guys, if you are in the live chat, like once again, I definitely apologize of what is going on there. Not for sure what's going on, but